Laila Simcha, and today I'm going to tell you guys just a couple of things that I notice in a guy. Okay, first let me put this disclaimer out here. I do not speak for all the women in the world or even all the Christian or believer women in the world. I speak for Laila Simcha, and that is it. I will get very spiritual and very deep in a minute, but right now I want to talk about the first things that you notice when you see a person. You don't know immediately that a person has a relationship with Jesus when you see them. Well, some people may know by the Spirit, but we're not talking about that right now. I'm just talking about the things that you can see from their outward appearance or the way that they carry themselves. So let's get into that. For me, the first thing I typically notice about a guy is their height. Like, I just can't help but notice, like, especially if they're like really tall, like I'm like, whoa, like, anyway, I'm not saying that height is like a deal breaker, like you have to be 6'3" or 4. You know what? The Lord provides what you need and not necessarily what you want. To all the short guys out there, I really don't think height matters that much. I think guys make a bigger deal about it than girls do typically. I mean, like, if a guy, I am 5'6.5" for context here, so if a guy is like 5'8", that's like 2 inches taller than me, I'd still consider that to be a short guy, but like that wasn't like a deal breaker, like, oh my gosh, like he's only 5'8", he's only 2 inches taller than me. Like, I would have submitted and been fine with it if he was like the person God had for me. BO definitely gets noticed. Also, I notice whether or not you wear cologne or not, and based off of that cologne, if you are wearing it, is it like quality or not? I think I can kind of tell. Also, going back to physique, I don't even know why I skipped over that. So as far as physique goes, like, some guys are like full-on bodybuilders. They are in the gym like 40 hours a week, like it's their job, and like they're working on having the most ripped arms and body or whatever. I'm not really so much into that. Like, if a guy is very muscular and toned, I'm like, okay, like I'd treat him just like any other guy. Like, that was never my preference. I was never like, I want a full-on bodybuilder. But I do care that he's healthy, and you know what, I'm not really judgmental when it comes to that. I don't really like analyze guys' bodies. One reason is because I think girls can kind of lust over guys if they're doing that constantly, and I protect myself from that, so I'm not like, oh, like, look at his body. Like, that's just never been my thing personally. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Health looks different on everyone, so some people might just naturally look a little bit more pudgy or whatever you want to say. So I'm not like, oh, if you're not like this size, then I wouldn't even give you a second look. I'm definitely not like that. But after all of those things, I probably would notice your clothing, and this is just like seeing a person whether I like know them personally or not. I probably notice your clothes, your style. Now, upon actually having an encounter, an interaction with a guy, I will notice his voice after all of those physical characteristics that you can see. So I'm looking like, okay, like, is his voice high? Is it low? Is it medium? Is it just soothing? Is it masculine, obviously? Is it kind of rough, coarse, hard? I'm looking at dialect, your grammar, a little bit. Yeah, I definitely do look at grammar. I'm looking at if he has an accent or not. I don't know what it is, but like, I pretty much like all accents there are. Okay, next I will notice things like manners, politeness. How does he treat other people around him? Does he treat them with respect? Is he chivalrous? Does he believe in holding doors open for women, helping them with bags and things like that? Like, are you helpful to women? Do you treat women well? Especially your mother. I've always been told, like, look at a guy and the way that he treats his mother. Chances are the way he treats his mom is how he would treat you should you guys get married. Next, I'd probably notice your confidence. I think there's so many different tells as to whether or not a person is confident or insecure. I think the way that they hold their shoulders back, the way that they walk, even the way that they speak and communicate with others, eye contact, that sort of thing will tell if a person is insecure or confident, and confidence is definitely an attractive quality. Definitely notice, like for guys, facial hair, and I will notice a good haircut or if your hair is not cut. Okay, all of these things considered, of course, I will definitely be looking out for a Christ-centered character. Does he have the fruit of the Spirit? Over time, I would notice those things, and I will notice the friend group that a guy surrounds himself with. Number one, like, is he surrounding himself with mostly guys or mostly girls or a mixture of both? I'm not saying that guys can't hang out with girls without there being anything going on, but I think that there needs to be a healthy balance and boundaries should be set, and that's all I have to say on the matter. Okay, so upon getting to know a guy, I will probably notice the things that he's gifted in or passionate about, or a lack of passion for anything. I think it's very attractive when a guy is passionate and knowledgeable about whatever his craft is, whatever the Lord has given him to be good at in life or to pursue. But over time, you learn what's most important to a person. So that's something you'll pick up on depending on what they're spending the most money on in their life or what they're spending the most time on or things like that. You'll know what's most important to them. And is it God? Is it you? Is it a game? Is it their career? All of those things are things to think about, but I believe that it should be the Lord if you are looking for a Christ-centered relationship and looking for a godly spouse. I'm Laila Simcha, and that concludes this video.